As the world grapples with the coronavirus crisis, 4 countries, Spain, Turkey, Ukraine, and the Czech Republic, are now returning made-in-China testing kits. That's right, a resurgent China is now exporting medical equipment and testing kits around the world as a goodwill gesture. But these Chinese kits were found to be of substandard quality. Spain, the second worst affected country in the world with over 65,000 cases and 5,600 deaths, acted in desperation. Just days ago, a Spanish government spokesperson, Maria Montero, said the country fought, quote-unquote, a war while procuring medical supplies in an overheated Chinese market. But the testing kits purchased from a Chinese firm were faulty. According to the Spanish newspaper El País, these kits could detect only 30% of the cases. Just a day earlier, the Spanish government had placed a $475 million order for emergency medical equipment from China, and now there is uncertainty over that deal. The testing kits sent to the Czech Republic were even worse. 80% of the rapid test kits sourced from China were faulty. For these countries, it may have been bad business in usual times, but amid the outbreak, it can be disastrous. But countries are lining up to receive help from China. China has handed over 100,000 testing kits to the Philippines. China is supplying over 10,000 testing kits to Africa as the coronavirus cases rise across the continent. Poland will be receiving more than 10,000 kits along with protective gear and masks. Here's the Philippine Foreign Secretary singing praises for China.
A tremendous help of China. It is a model for what the rest of the world should be doing. Instead of blaming each other for what's happening, they should all start working together to help each other. And this is concrete proof.
That's not all. China has also sent medical teams to several countries, including Serbia, to help out struggling Italy. China has sent out not 1 but 3 teams so far. In total, China is said to have extended its so-called generosity to 89 countries and 4 international organizations. Playing this role of a savior could help the Asian giant absolve itself of any blame for the deadly outbreak. The state media, too, is hard at work to kill the negative publicity, saying there is no place for smearing game over the products made in China. Good PR for its products is necessary, China has come to realize in recent decades. Exports are profitable. Profits during a pandemic, though, does not sound morally right, does it? But China is moving towards normalcy while the rest of the world is under a lockdown. In China, restrictions are being lifted. Business has resumed in several parts. Outside Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak, 90% of large firms are back at work, but not without government help. Like most countries, China too has announced a relief package to revive the economy.
Communicated the figure of a totality of $344 billion US. In terms of mainly fiscal measures. First and foremost, we try to stabilize the Chinese economy. And with the measures we have started to take, with the return of the work of the workers and the resumption of productive activities by the factories across the country, I think the Chinese economy is coming back to life.
So while major countries are still struggling, China has a head start. China can bounce back quickly by boosting business. What does the world need right now? Personal protective equipment. Masks are in short supply, and guess who is filling the gap? Chinese companies. According to a report, almost 9,000 new manufacturers started producing masks in China this year. China's daily mask production has crossed 115 million masks per day. Take a look at these two companies making the most of the situation. BYD, a company that normally makes electric cars, says it could make 5 million masks per day. Foxconn, the Taiwanese company that makes iPhones, says it can make 2 million masks per day. Chinese firms are helping the government win the PR battle. The New York governor, Andrew Cuomo, has thanked Huawei for donations. Huawei, the Chinese company that the US government, remember, blacklisted due to security reasons. Foreign companies based in China have reopened with nearly 80% of the workforce back at work. BMW's factories resumed operations in February itself. Fiat Chrysler has also restarted production. Foxconn has resumed work in its mainland China factories. Foxconn famously makes iPhones. Tesla's factory has reopened as well, reportedly with help from the local authorities. So what does all this mean? Is China casting itself as the savior of the world, promising essential medical help at the drop of a hat? Or does China want to be the godfather to a world in crisis, allegedly out of goodwill, while pocketing the profits?